On the morning of Monday, August 8, 2005, employees at the Banco Central do Brasil branch in Fortaleza arrived for work to find their vault breached. According to police reports filed that day, the heavy steel door had been forced open from beneath. Investigators entering the vault documented a scene that would soon be recognized as Brazil's largest cash robbery: metal shelves stripped bare, currency wrappers scattered across the floor, and a gaping hole punched through the concrete foundation. The bank's management immediately notified federal authorities. What they had discovered was the culmination of months of planning, patience, and criminal ingenuity. Initial inventory checks conducted by Banco Central auditors revealed the magnitude of the theft. According to official statements released by the bank on August 9, the criminals had removed approximately 164.8 million Brazilian reais. Currency conversion records from August 2005 placed this amount at roughly $70 million at that time. The stolen cash had been stored in the vault as part of the bank's reserves, money that had been scheduled for regional distribution. Federal police spokesman Luis Fernando Bueno told reporters that the thieves had selectively targeted the highest value bills, focusing on 50 and 100 real notes to maximize their haul while minimizing volume. Federal police investigators tracing the hole in the vault floor made a discovery that explained how the thieves had bypassed the building's extensive security system. According to the official police report filed on August 9, the breach originated from a tunnel that ran beneath the bank. Crime scene technicians measured the passageway at approximately 80 meters in length, roughly 260 feet. The tunnel terminated at a property several blocks away. Investigators documented that the passage had been reinforced with wooden supports along its length, equipped with lighting, and ventilated to allow prolonged work underground. The engineering suggested careful planning and construction expertise. Following the tunnel back from the vault, investigators arrived at a commercial property located on Rua 25 de Marco, a street in Fortaleza's business district. Police records show the site had been leased 3 months earlier, in early May 2005, to a company called Grama Sintética, which ostensibly sold artificial grass and landscaping supplies. Neighbors interviewed by police reported seeing regular deliveries and activity at the location, with workers coming and going throughout the summer. The business appeared legitimate to observers. Inside, however, federal police found excavation equipment, dirt removal tools, and the tunnel entrance concealed beneath false flooring. The entire operation had been a facade. Forensic analysis of the tunnel by engineering consultants hired by federal police estimated the excavation had taken approximately 3 months to complete. According to their report submitted in September 2005, the volume of earth removed totaled several tons. Investigators documented that the criminals had solved the critical problem facing any tunnel operation: disposal of excavated soil. Witness statements collected from the neighborhood indicated that Grama Sintética had regularly loaded landscaping materials into trucks and vans. Police concluded the gang had hidden the excavated dirt among legitimate business inventory, transporting it away in plain sight. The deception had been remarkably effective. No one had suspected the true nature of the digging. Forensic timeline reconstruction by federal police investigators determined the actual vault breach occurred over the weekend of August 6 to 7, 2005. The bank had closed for business Friday evening and would not reopen until Monday morning, providing the criminals with approximately 56 hours of uninterrupted access. Police believe the gang broke through the vault floor sometime Saturday and worked through the night, removing cash and transporting it back through the tunnel. The bank's alarm systems, according to security company records reviewed by investigators, had not been triggered. The thieves had entered from below, circumventing door sensors, motion detectors, and cameras that monitored the vault's main entrance. The logistics of moving $70 million in physical currency presented significant challenges. Federal police calculations, based on the weight of Brazilian banknotes, estimated the stolen money weighed approximately 3.5 metric tons. Witness interviews conducted in the weeks following the robbery provided investigators with crucial details. Residents near the Grama Sintética property reported seeing multiple vehicles, including vans and a truck, parked at the location during the weekend of August 6 to 7. Police believe the cash was loaded into these vehicles directly from the tunnel exit point and driven to secure locations throughout Fortaleza and potentially to other cities in northeastern Brazil. Federal police established a special task force within hours of the discovery, according to statements released by the Departamento de Polícia Federal on August 8. Led by experienced investigators from the agency's organized crime division, the team began by securing the crime scene and documenting every detail of the tunnel and vault breach. Forensic technicians collected fingerprints, DNA samples, and tool marks from both locations. Investigators also subpoenaed the lease agreement for the Grama Sintética property, obtaining the names and identification documents of the individuals who had rented the space. These early leads would prove critical in identifying the members of the criminal organization. Analysis of the Grama Sintética lease documents revealed the property had been rented using fraudulent identification, but investigators were able to trace bank account information and telephone records associated with the transaction. According to federal police reports from late August 2005, these leads identified several individuals with prior criminal records. Detectives began surveillance operations on known associates of the suspects, monitoring their communications and movements. By early September, investigators had compiled a list of approximately 20 individuals believed to be involved in planning or executing the heist. Many had backgrounds in construction or engineering, consistent with the expertise required to build the tunnel. Federal police executed coordinated raids on August 13, 2005, just 5 days after the robbery's discovery. According to official statements, officers arrested 6 individuals in Fortaleza and the surrounding region. Search warrants executed at their residences uncovered evidence linking them to the Grama Sintética property, including rental receipts, construction tools, and, in one location, a small amount of cash that matched serial number records from the stolen currency. The arrested individuals were identified in court documents as mid-level participants in the operation. Police believe the masterminds and the bulk of the stolen money remained at large. The investigation intensified. Financial investigators from the federal police and Brazil's tax authority, the Receita Federal, began tracking unusual banking activity in the weeks following the heist. According to interagency reports from September 2005, they identified several large cash deposits made at banks throughout northeastern Brazil in the days immediately after August 8. Some individuals had attempted to exchange large quantities of Brazilian reais for US dollars at currency exchanges, transactions that were flagged as suspicious and reported to authorities. Investigators also discovered that some suspects had made significant purchases of real estate, vehicles, and luxury goods using cash. These financial footprints provided additional evidence and helped identify other members of the criminal network. Investigators focusing on leadership of the operation identified a key suspect through telephone intercepts and informant testimony. Court records from late 2005 name Luis Fernando Ribeiro as the alleged mastermind who coordinated the heist. According to federal police intelligence, Ribeiro had assembled the team, secured the property lease, and overseen the tunnel construction. He had no prior convictions for violent crime but was known to authorities for involvement in organized criminal enterprises. By October 2005, police had issued an arrest warrant for Ribeiro. Tracking his movements proved challenging. Investigators believed he had fled Fortaleza, possibly leaving Brazil entirely, taking a substantial portion of the stolen cash with him. As evidence suggested some suspects had fled across international borders, Brazilian federal police requested assistance from Interpol and law enforcement agencies in neighboring countries. According to Interpol notices issued in late 2005 and early 2006, red notices were distributed for several key suspects, including Ribeiro. Investigators believed portions of the stolen money had been moved to Paraguay and Argentina, countries with porous borders and established smuggling routes. Financial intelligence units in these nations began monitoring for the appearance of Brazilian currency in unusual quantities. The investigation had expanded beyond Brazil's borders, becoming an international manhunt that would span multiple countries and years. Over the months and years following the robbery, federal police continued efforts to recover the stolen funds. According to official recovery statistics published by the Departamento de Policía Federal through 2010, authorities had seized approximately $8 million in cash and assets purchased with proceeds from the heist. This represented roughly 11% of the total amount stolen. Recovered items included properties, vehicles, and bank accounts that had been frozen by court order. Some money was found buried in rural areas outside Fortaleza, discovered through informant tips and suspect interrogations. Despite these successes, the majority of the $70 million remained unrecovered, likely hidden or already spent by the time authorities located the suspects. Brazilian prosecutors brought charges against more than 24 individuals connected to the heist. Court proceedings extended over several years as suspects were apprehended and extradited from various locations. According to judicial records from the Tribunal de Justiça do Ceará, by 2010 more than 20 individuals had been convicted on charges including robbery, criminal conspiracy, and money laundering. Sentences ranged from 6 to 15 years in prison, depending on each defendant's role in the operation. Luis Fernando Ribeiro, the alleged mastermind, was eventually located and arrested in 2011 in a neighboring state. He was convicted in 2013 and sentenced to 12 years imprisonment. The legal proceedings closed one chapter of the case. The Banco Central heist exposed critical vulnerabilities in bank security infrastructure throughout Brazil. In response, according to reports from the Brazilian Federation of Banks, Febraban, published in 2006, financial institutions implemented comprehensive security upgrades. Banks began installing ground-penetrating sensors capable of detecting underground excavation near vault locations. Vault construction standards were revised to include deeper foundations and reinforced flooring specifically designed to prevent tunnel access. The Banco Central do Brasil issued new security protocols requiring continuous monitoring of properties adjacent to bank branches. Industry analysts noted that the Fortaleza robbery fundamentally changed how Brazilian financial institutions assessed and protected against unconventional threats, particularly those involving extended planning and infrastructure manipulation. The 2005 Banco Central heist remains the largest cash robbery in Brazilian history and one of the most significant bank heists globally when measured by the amount stolen. Criminologists studying the case, in academic papers published in subsequent years, have noted the operation's sophistication, the extended planning period, the effective use of a front business, the engineering required for tunnel construction, and the coordination needed to remove such a large quantity of currency. The fact that the majority of the money was never recovered has added to the heist's notoriety. For law enforcement, the case demonstrated both the capabilities of determined criminal organizations and the importance of interagency cooperation and financial intelligence in investigating complex economic crimes. The tunnel beneath Fortaleza stands as a testament to criminal ambition and the ongoing challenge of protecting assets in an evolving security landscape.